Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. I hope everyone is doing great today. Just got home from work, and to be quite frank, I was not even going to do a video today, even though I didn't do one yesterday either. Because, to be honest, uh, I you know I got up early today, went to go work out. Then I went to work, and I came home and I was gonna eat, watch a little bit of YouTube, and then go get some sleep. Well, as I was online, this story came up, which I decided to view, and it's a story that's out of Springfield, Ohio, and it was a story that I was interested in watching, and I think you guys might be interested in it as well. Now, for those of you, now obviously we do have the whole migrant thing going on in this country. Now, a lot of people assume that the migrant thing is only an issue in larger metro areas, is only an issue in blue cities or in blue states. And this story that's out of Springfield, Ohio is going to debunk all that. Now, for those of you that don't know, that are not familiar with Springfield, Ohio, Springfield, Ohio is a smaller city, 58,000 people. It's a half hour from Dayton, Ohio. And, well, I'm not going to tell you what's going on in Springfield. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. And then when I get done playing the video, I will come back with more commentary. So let's go watch the video together.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard, and I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move. He said, we can't do this anymore. He said, it's killing both of us mentally. I don't understand what you expect of us as citizens. I mean, I understand they're here under temporary protected status, and you're protecting them, and I understand that our city services are overwhelmed and understaffed, but who's protecting us? If we're protecting them, who's protecting me? I want out of this town. I am sorry. Please give me a reason to stay.
You guys are just sitting up there and something. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. And it's going to get bigger and it's only going to get worse. And y'all sitting up there in these chairs, all y'all need to get out here and do something. Y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Y'all need to put on a t-shirt and some Crocs, and then y'all need to come out here in these streets, and y'all need to go out here and I'm out here before the police is. Like, y'all need to do something, bro. Y'all really got to stand on business. Y'all getting paid all this money just to wear a suit and sit in a chair. I think it's crazy, bro. That's where they come from, and that's what they do. That's their country. I don't know what they got going on over there, but they can't do that over here. And if y'all just getting paid from it and then y'all ain't doing nothing about it, I think that's super weird, bro. Y'all got to stand on business. Y'all got to really, like, step up. Like, it's lame, bro. Like, for real.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you.
Well, you guys heard the story. Now, if you're interested in listening to the entire clip, I mean the entire story, You can go to Daily Caller News Foundation because that's where I got that clip from. But just just for the sake of not being hit with any type of copyright infringements on my channel, I only played the first couple of minutes or so of the story, which in my opinion was the best part of the story. But watch the whole story for yourself on Daily Caller if you desire. So now that I got all that out the way, can you imagine, kind of like what happened, kind of like that first woman. Can you imagine living in a city for 45 years? And I'm going to assume that her and her husband paid off their house. So after 45 years of living in a city, they worked their butts off, most likely paid off their house. And most likely they were planning on living out their elder years in that house, in that city. And one day they wake up and now they got a bunch of migrants on their yard squatting. So not only do these people not understand the language that these individuals are speaking because they're not from the country, but on top of that, they're trying to get these people to leave their property, and they refuse to leave the property. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that they called local law enforcement, and most likely local law enforcement didn't do anything about it because most likely Springfield is one of those cities to where there's not enough staff and law enforcement to be able to do anything about the migrant issue that they got going on in that city. I'm going to just assume that's why law enforcement doesn't appear to be as effective as they should be, because there's probably not enough of them to address these migrants. Now, I do have my opinions of how the whole migrant issue can be solved. But if I say what I really want to say, then I'm going to get canceled. So for that purpose, I'm not going to say it. Now, as far as the second person that was speaking, the man, again, you can tell that he's extremely frustrated about what's going on in his city. Now, if I were living in a city like Springfield, Ohio, I would be extremely frustrated myself. I couldn't even imagine what type of thoughts would be racing in my mind when I tell somebody to get off my yard and they refuse to get off my yard. I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what thoughts would be going through my mind and what I would want to do to them. Fortunately, I've never been in that type of a situation, and hopefully I never will be in that kind of a situation. And I gotta say, stories like this, I mean, after listening to this story and stories similar to this, I gotta say, I can truly say that I am grateful and I am appreciative of living where I currently live. I mean, despite some of the inconveniences of living in small rural America, despite some of the inconveniences such as amenities and the local job market, I gotta say I'm grateful for living where I'm living. Because here where I live, there's really not a whole lot going on. The population of people is extremely low, and where I live, there is no businesses in town other than maybe a gas station. That's about it. Everything else you need in this town, I mean, most people that live in a town that I live in, we gotta drive 15 miles/minutes to a close by small city. And I gotta say, after watching stories like this, I can't, I can't, I can't express enough of how grateful I am to live where I live. To where most likely, and I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm going to speak with a little bit of confidence here. Uh, like where I live, I don't think the whole migrant thing is going to be as much of an issue because of where I live. I mean, I live damn near in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there is really nothing in this community where I'm at that's going to attract people to want to stay unless they got family here. And I would say I mean, at least well, I'm at least what I know, I am the only strange person that lives in a town like this. A person that's not obviously I'm not from this community, and B, I'm not even from the state of I'm not even from the state of Alabama. But most people that live in the community where I live are natives here. They grew up here. They're from here, and for the most part, that's how it's always been for the longest. So, what I was gonna say something. So yeah, and another thing that I like to say is another thing which I believe this video debunks is the idea that people are against the migrants coming here because of race. Like the two people that were speaking, I don't think either one of them could care two shits about the race of the migrants. Now, the migrants that are in Springfield that they're complaining about are Haitian. But I don't think, I mean, rather they were Haitian, Hispanic, or whatever ethnicity that they may have been from, I don't think it would have made one lick of difference to these individuals. I think these people are frustrated because their tax dollars are going towards their own city crumpling before their very eyes. Rather than the tax dollars going to better their city, their tax dollars are instead making their city worse in layman's terms. So, what do you guys think about how these two people feel? Like, if you were living in a city to where migrants were in your city squatting, and as old dude mentioned, they were going around and doing bad things to animals. How would y'all feel if y'all was living in a city to where you had people running around doing that recklessness? How would you all feel? I know how I would feel. I want to know how you guys would feel. You can go ahead and sound off in the comments about how you feel. I'm just curious. And on that note, if you like what I do, go ahead and subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I said it backwards, but you all know what I mean. And on that note, stay blessed. I'll catch you guys on the next one.